Have you ever asked yourself why a certain person lingers in your mind, even when you've done everything to let them go? Maybe it's not just your heart playing tricks on you. Maybe it's your soul recognizing a connection that exists beyond the boundaries of logic and understanding. You see, not every connection is meant to be easily explained or dismissed. Some people appear in our lives not as distractions, but as divine reminders. Even when you try to forget, they return in subtle but powerful ways, through dreams, song lyrics, random conversations, and moments of inexplicable peace when you pray for them. This isn't just about feelings. It's about resonance. A love that brings spiritual rest when you surrender it to prayer, and a restlessness when you attempt to cut it off. That might not be coincidence. It might be divine orchestration. Because sometimes Allah places someone in your heart not for romance, but for a reason that transcends this world. A reason rooted in purpose, not possession. And in those moments of confusion, perhaps you're being invited to explore a love that isn't ordinary, but sacred. A love beyond reason. A soulful recognition. There are emotions that arrive in your heart without knocking, that feel familiar even when the face is unfamiliar, and that persist even when you try to suppress them. These feelings don't scream for attention. They settle deep within and make their presence known quietly but powerfully. You begin to realize it's not about obsession, it's something deeper. It's recognition. The kind of soul recognition that comes not from this lifetime alone, but possibly from a spiritual realm you can't fully understand yet. You start to feel that this isn't just someone you met, it's someone your soul remembers. When you make dua for them, you feel a peace that can't be explained. It's as if your prayers are already known by the heavens, like echoes of a promise etched into the divine tablet long before you were born. Maybe this isn't a random connection. Maybe this is part of your divine mission. Allah doesn't create hearts to collide without meaning. Some people are placed into your life as assignments, sacred appointments that align with your spiritual journey. These connections are not about fleeting emotions or physical attraction. They are about growth, alignment, and divine timing. Signs of divine guidance. Not all of Allah's signs arrive in grand, unmistakable forms. Sometimes, guidance comes in subtle moments, a deep inner peace when you think about someone, or an unshakable sense of purpose when you pray for their well-being. You may find yourself asking, why does this person keep coming to mind? But maybe the better question is, what is Allah trying to show me through this connection? Because the heart, as the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, is between the fingers of the most merciful, constantly being turned, shaped, and guided. Those recurring thoughts and feelings may not be a result of your imagination. They may be divine cues. When the heart is stirred with consistency and peace, especially in the context of prayer and spiritual growth, it could be a whisper from your Lord. Allah may be guiding you toward reflection, healing, or even preparation for something greater. The quiet stirrings of your soul aren't always distractions. Sometimes, they're spiritual realities being unveiled, layer by layer, by the one who knows what your heart needs, even before you do. Divine love is aligned, not chaotic. True love, the kind that is written by Allah, is not chaotic or consuming. It doesn't unravel your peace or demand your soul. Instead, it aligns you. It brings clarity, not confusion. It feels like home, not a battlefield. You may have tried to push the feelings away, to convince yourself it's a mistake. But every time, it returns, not with intensity that overwhelms you, but with serenity that anchors you. This is the nature of divine love. It's not frantic, it's fulfilling. It doesn't ask you to lose yourself, but invites you to become more of who you are meant to be. There's a stark difference between obsession and sacred connection. Obsession screams for attention and thrives on anxiety. Divine love, on the other hand, whispers with gentleness. It evolves. It matures. It doesn't distract you from your spiritual journey, it deepens it. It brings you closer to your Creator, not further from Him. When Allah writes love into your life, He writes it in light, clear, illuminating, and purposeful. And that kind of love doesn't cloud your judgment, it brightens your path. It becomes a reminder that love, when it's from Allah, is not meant to consume, it's meant to complete your faith. A shift in perspective, from them to Him. Eventually, your entire perspective shifts. What once was about them slowly becomes about him. The person becomes less of a goal and more of a sign, a mirror reflecting your own growth. You stop asking, "Are they the one?" and begin asking, "Am I becoming the one Allah created me to be?" This is the transformation that divine love initiates. It's no longer about finding your other half, but about becoming whole yourself. Because sacred love doesn't distract from your spiritual journey, it accelerates it. Allah's timeline is never rushed. Every delay is a preparation. What's written for you isn't being withheld, it's being perfected. And when you turn your focus from the person to your Creator, your soul starts to heal. You begin to see that love isn't about possession, it's about purification. The more you anchor your heart in Allah, the clearer everything else becomes. And perhaps that love you long for isn't the destination, it's just part of the path leading you back to Him. The test of patience and purification. Before every sacred union, there is a sacred pause. A season of silence. A test of patience. The time in between isn't wasted, it's woven with wisdom. The ache you feel, the longing you carry, and the questions that haunt you, these are not signs of punishment. They are signs of preparation. Allah is purifying your heart, teaching you to love selflessly, to wait gracefully, and to trust fully. In these moments of divine silence, you are not being ignored, you are being transformed. You're learning to care without clinging, to hope without idolizing, and to love without losing yourself. This kind of transformation doesn't come easy, but it's essential. Because only when you stop making someone else the center of your universe and place Allah there instead, do you discover a love that's unshakable. A love rooted in worship, not weakness. And in that space, your heart is no longer dependent on outcomes. It is dependent on its Creator. That is where real strength begins. That is where real love is born. They are also being guided. What if the person you're thinking about is thinking about you too? Not in a worldly sense, but in a sacred one. You don't see their prayers, but they may be asking Allah the same questions you are. If this is meant, bring it close. If not, remove it gently. They're not looking for fantasy, they're seeking divine alignment. Just like you, they are on their own journey of healing, growth, and surrender. And in the quiet chambers of their heart, your name may be whispered, not to people, not to friends, but to the only one who matters, Allah. This is the beauty of divine orchestration. You may feel alone in your longing, but you're not forgotten. Heaven hears what you both can't say. And somewhere, in a sacred moment of dua, your names may meet, not in conversation, but in prayer. That's a connection the world can't measure. It's not about texting or talking, it's about trusting. Trusting that if Allah is guiding both your hearts, you don't have to chase anything. You only have to submit. Because what is written for you is already seeking you, through them. Divine orchestration. You don't have to strive for what's already yours. What is divinely written recognizes its timing and travels with purpose. You didn't need to chase love or prove your worth. Allah already knew your heart. He placed your name in their soul not because you were flawless, but because you were meant. Divine love doesn't require force. It unfolds. It arrives not with fireworks, but with peace. And when it finally enters your life, it won't come to fill your emptiness. It will reflect the wholeness you've built with Allah. They won't come to save you. They'll come to join you. Not in neediness, but in purpose. Not as a missing piece, but as a mirror of divine timing. Because divine love isn't about being completed by someone else. It's about being aligned with someone who leads you back to your Creator. So if your heart still stirs, don't be afraid. Trust that what's meant for you is never lost. And if this love is from Allah, it will return, not for attachment, but for a partnership that is sacred, peaceful, and written in light.